So, hello everyone, and welcome back to STW Sports. I'm host Sam, you're right, joined by Reading fan Oliver Walls. Well, Oliver, we're going to start with, obviously we could have started with the points deduction, but we're going to start on a positive note. Reading's very impressive 2-1 win at Craven Cottage over the weekend, a big win. What were your thoughts on the game?
So going into the game, obviously, we just came off a 3-1 win at Peterborough, which obviously we expected that we needed to win that. The form was in. We're all happy with that win, and we needed that going into the Saturday game. We knew Fulham was going to be tough, but unlike me, I don't think many fans thought that we would actually go there and get a point, let alone 3 points with that win we had. It's one of those games where like if you turn up on the day, you know, you're gonna try and take something from it. But Fulham, like obviously Premier League side, like good Premier League side when they're in there, very tough team to beat, especially away from home. With the players they have and everything. It's like no one, especially me, expected to go there and get 3 points, and which we did, which is good. Especially like before the international break, it was awful. We had like 1 win from our opening 5, like and 3 points, and all of a sudden after the international break, we got 7 from 9. Beating Peterborough, Fulham, and obviously getting that point against QPR, which we could have had 3, but obviously their 93rd minute equaliser, they obviously scored that. So 7 points from the 3 games, especially beating Fulham, is really good.
Well, I was going to ask about your start to the season, but you pretty much covered that all in that question there. So fair play. And next up, we are going to go on to the points deduction news, though. Not the only Championship club who is going through some trouble. What are your thoughts on it as a Reading fan?
Well, obviously as a Reading fan, we obviously I hate to say it, but we knew it was coming because we've been like this for many years, last 2-3 seasons. We knew it was coming. We couldn't afford. We buy players, and when we buy players, we give them so high wages. Like it makes us worry who can we afford and what can we do, because it's not great. That's why obviously this year it's obviously. In financial fair play, we can only get loan players or free agents, and that's what we did. We got a couple of good free agents, but the wages we struggled with. So the other clubs that we paid, we took them off, like Danny Drinkwater and Baba, for example. Chelsea kindly paid for their wage, so we didn't have to, because of the situation that we're in.
Yeah, of course, very difficult times at the moment. Hopefully Reading do sort it out, as do the other Championship clubs. But I want to ask you about the current manager, Veljko Paunovic. Very good start last season, obviously. Don't forget how well you did start the Championship season, win, I think it was 6 of your opening 7 games. Looked like you might go on to have a great season. Kind of faded off, finished just outside the playoffs. And then this season, obviously, after a pretty rough start, you are slowly recovering up to 13th place. What's your assessment of the job he's done so far?
So when he took over last season, obviously no one knew who he was, which is usually a Reading thing. We bring in managers that we've never even heard of. Just like the season before with Gomez, we brought him in, didn't hear, and obviously kept us up. And obviously Paunovic then came in, and we heard he's from Chicago Fire, and obviously it's the MLS. It's one of them leagues that you don't really know much about. He did well their first season. Then we heard from a few Chicago Fire fans that building into the second season, he kind of lost the dressing room a bit, and that's what we was all worried with that. And obviously then he got fired from there, and then we brought him in not expecting to do what he did with us like last season at all, going like 6 wins from our opening 7, and obviously that 1 draw as well. Didn't expect that. We knew we weren't going to keep that record going, especially obviously when we lost that game at Coventry on that Friday night. We then obviously lost our lost 4 games in a row, and obviously eventually we got back to it. But it just last season, it was good to finally get some positive, even though we didn't make the playoffs. For the last seasons we've had, it's good that we had some positive time, challenging for promotion and the playoffs, even though we didn't make it. The injuries kind of cost us as well. Like Lucas João, who obviously great striker, but his injury, he's so injury prone. He gets in obviously this season as well. He's injured. He won't be back till mid-January, and it's just injuries really that cost us the end of last season. We then got into January, and obviously where we played Bournemouth, obviously we were at the top of that time as well, and obviously we beat them, and then all of a sudden it fell through there. We got like two wins from our last 14, 15 games, and it's just points that dropped completely, and it really put us down. But we knew that we were going into a new season, we wasn't going to struggle. But obviously now with this, if we do get the possible point deduction, it's with, can we go and push on? Because the 7 points we've got, we know we've just beaten Fulham in the league, and obviously if we can beat teams like Fulham in the league, we've got a chance to staying up even with a points deduction, which would, it's obviously possible 9 points, which would put us down to 1 point. But can we survive? But obviously with all the injuries we have, it could be really difficult. But I feel like we've got Paunovic who obviously can find a way, figure his way out of it. Obviously, it just come January, we can't buy anyone because of financial fair play. So it's stuck with the players we have, and hopefully the injured players get back fit. It's like Zhao and Mate, once they're fit, I think we should have a chance of survival if the point deduction was to go that way.
Yep, very interesting take on that. But I'm going to take a trip down memory lane now, Oliver. And firstly, I'm going to ask you your favourite ever Reading player.
It's got to be Adam Lafondra. He was always that player, especially when he was in the Prem. Obviously, he got us to promote to the Premier League. He never started in the Prem, surprisingly. But when he did, especially coming off the bench, he would rescue us points and everything. Obviously, we called him Super Sub Lafondra, and obviously you can see why with the goals he came off the bench and scored. Especially, I remember the one at Chelsea. We're 2-0 down with 10 minutes left, and he came off the bench and got 2 straight away. And obviously, we just in that Prem time, he came off the same when we beat West Brom from 2-0 down, came 3-2. He was just one of them quality strikers that we all needed. I wish we need now, to be honest, because we have that one striker in Pushkas, but we're desperately low up top. It's just that our goals coming from midfield, and there's nothing. We just need someone like him back to help us get where we want to be.
Yeah, that's fair. What about your favourite ever manager?
The managers I've seen, obviously being this young, it obviously had to be Brian McDermott. Obviously he got us promoted. He was our last manager to get us promoted before the playoff final, which was Stam. Stam was a good manager as well. Obviously, people say it was that season where we made the playoff final was a fluky one. Obviously, and then obviously the season after we got fired after we struggled to nearly stay up on relegation. But had to be McDermott. He came in. He actually took charge of us twice, and one of them obviously he got us promoted. And obviously it's nice to get promoted, but someone like that was just it's just unbelievable. Especially doing 2 times as the manager as well, coming back after that season. He's just unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic. And also, favourite goal? Which goal over the years has really, captured your emotion, would you say?
There's honestly so many of them, but one that I remember, obviously, it kind of hurt because we never made that playoff in the end. We got on the final day, it kind of lost due to Brighton winning. But I remember being there and a goal on the final day. I think it was, can't remember exactly who it was, but Blackman or Williams, one of them. Gareth McCleary, I think it was actually, yeah. Burnley were up at that point, and he scored a late goal. We needed a draw to make ourselves get a chance for a playoff, and he did that from outside the box. I remember into top corner, but unfortunately Brighton scored a late 90th minute goal, which obviously knocked us out of the playoffs, and we eventually finished 7th. But that's one. There's so many like that. There's so many over the years that was unbelievable that obviously got us made us go where we wanted to. Obviously Kermgan obviously from the penalty spot at Fulham. So it wasn't a good goal, but obviously that there obviously made us go to the playoff final, and obviously we've not had something like that in years to celebrate. And it's just some of these goals that we celebrate is just what we need currently in football for our club.
Yeah, absolutely. The fans returning has been a massive bonus to everyone as well, and I'm sure you'll agree with that. I'm just going to take a step back and look back now to the 2005-6 campaign for Reading when they broke the points record in the Championship, 106 points. Even as a Reading fan who might have been too young at that stage, how great was that for the club at the time, and how, fondly does that live in Reading's fans' hearts, would you say?
Oh, for the club, it's obviously the way what the trouble we're in now for the club. It's unbelievable to have a record like that, and to see obviously 106, obviously only losing twice that whole season, and obviously one of them being on the opening day of the season. To have a record like that is unbelievable, because like from now 2005-6, from going there on to 2021, to know the fact that it still hasn't been broken, like it's unbelievable, because it is going to be tough to break that record. No doubt about it. It's going to be tough. Whoever breaks it, fair play on them. But it will be tough. But it's the players we had back then, obviously, really helped us with that. Obviously, with the manager of Steve Coppell as well, like it really helped us. But living in the memory of Reading at the moment, it's one thing we can go on. If we get relegated, promoted, what have you, it's one thing we can go on. We do have a record that's going to be living, even if it does get broken, it'll be living that we were the first team to hit a milestone of points in one season. It's just unbelievable, especially for a club like us.
Yep, fantastic. And not the only promotion you've had in your lifetime. Also, 2011-12, you got promoted with a 1-0 win against Nottingham Forest, if I remember correctly, at the Medeski Stadium, which did confirm the promotion. Another great promotion for you. What are your memories of that one?
So that promotion, obviously, out of both of them, that was a promotion I remember, because that's like before then I started watching football, but I started going to Reading games like that before. But no, that was it was kind of amazing, especially knowing at the start of that season, if I remember rightly, at the start of that season we were awful. Come Christmas, like just before November, Christmas time, we weren't even sitting in the top 12. Like we was in the bottom half of the table, and all of a sudden McDermott makes we do what we do, and we make the top 6, and surprisingly we won the league, because I remember a Southampton game. Obviously, right at the end, it was Southampton v Reading. I can't remember when. I think March, April. It was obviously a big game at the top, and we beat Southampton 3-1. And obviously Lafondra came off the bench and scored twice. But no, that's one of my favourite memories as a Reading player. Obviously getting promoted. Unfortunately, getting relegated the season after wasn't my finest memory. But like, I'd like to see something like that again. Everyone does. Whatever club you support, you want to see your club promoted, however you do it.
Yeah, also another question again, you might have been a little bit too young for this, but that season you finished 8th in the Premier League in 2006-07, being promoted in 05-06, obviously with the amount of points you did, and then going on to finish in the top, the top half of the Premier League table. Some great memories that season as well. Again, great memories as a Reading fan, and what do you remember of that time?
So I remember a brief bit of it. Obviously, coming up from a Premier League, any team that comes up from the Premier League, it's going to be hard for them to survive either way, no matter what you do. Obviously, we came up. We surprisingly finished 8th. Just missed out on European football. Surprisingly, finished 8th then. Unfortunately, the season after we was like that one season wonder team. Unfortunately, the season after we got relegated. But to finish in the top 8 of a Premier League with the size of our club, it's wonderful, especially coming off that season where we went 106. Like we broke the record and then eventually finished in the top 8. With us and Wolves, I believe, are the only other team that managed to do that. Sheffield United eventually did that, but it's for a team that anyone that comes up from the Championship and manages to finish in the top 10 or survive, it's brilliant for them, because it's a Premier League is a very hard league, especially when you've just been promoted from the Championship, no matter who you are.
Yeah, absolutely agree. A great achievement that one was. And your next opponents in the Championship are Middlesbrough. A tough game, no doubt about that, this Saturday coming up. How are you feeling going into it?
So coming off 7 points from 3 games, especially coming off that win at Fulham, we knew we'd have a good advantage going into that game. But hopefully, finding out about the points deduction and financial fair play, hopefully that hasn't put it down on the Reading fans and the Reading players, because if it does seem to happen. We've all got to stick behind each other. We've got to stick behind each other, all of us, especially Derby fans. Obviously, we're all behind Derby. I know I am, obviously, with what's happening with both of us. But going into that Middlesbrough game, I'm still confident now. Like, going from what we saw at Fulham, I do think we can get something away from Middlesbrough, especially being an early kickoff, which is unusual for us because we never used to have an early kickoff. And knowing that from an early kickoff, we can get to sit back in the 3 o'clock kickoff games, like see what occurs there, especially, with Middlesbrough there, and obviously the big game next Wednesday for Derby County. Obviously, we play the team, obviously play them with a minus points deduction, and obviously we could be heading one, so it's a big game for that Derby game, especially for Borough. But Neil Warnock's a good manager. Like, I've always respected Neil Warnock. One of the best managers that's out there. We seem to do well against Warnock. Just depends what team he manages. I don't think we've actually beaten Middlesbrough since he took over. So he's a very good manager in my opinion, and hard to beat sometimes.
Yeah, it's going to be a very tough game, but interesting as well. Like I said, it is the early kickoff. But what's your score prediction for that game, please? So I'm not going to be biased. I would go for a win, but I'll probably go for a draw. So I'd say 1-1, because I feel like it will, coming off Fulham, like we will go in there. But obviously with the points deduction thing, that's probably put the heads down slightly. But I feel like we can go there and get a point, especially on the road for Middlesbrough. If you go to Middlesbrough, you play away to Middlesbrough, they're a very tough team to beat. So I'd probably go for a draw there. Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, that's all we've got time for this evening. Anyway, Oliver, but thank you very much for joining me, and good luck to Reading for the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.